G'day, it's Dave, and today we're starting a new video series called Real Estate Nerd Alert. And be warned, just as the title suggests, this is going to be uber nerdy. If you're looking for something a little lighter, check out our other monthly market update video. But today we're going to dive deep into some of the statistics of the market so you can really see how crazy this seller's market is. Let's get going. So every month the Ottawa Real Estate Board releases an article with all the stats or some generic stats of the previous month. So for January they're talking about the low number of transactions, they're talking about the low inventory, they're talking about the dramatic increase in prices in both the residential and condominium market. This is all fascinating, but I want to dive deeper because this fails to really paint the full picture. And I want to share with you some of the nuttiness, some of the crazy stuff that we're seeing as agents every day. And we're going to get super nerdy. We're going to jump into some numbers. And so come with me. All right, well, first off, I want to show you, I did a search in the Ottawa area, big giant circle, Canada to Orleans, past Barrhaven, past Greeley, so on. And so this is all for the month of January. We have 600 results. We export all those results and we bring them into Excel. I'll do all our Excel magic. And this is this. I want to report to you some of the key highlights from this. 600 sales, 210 of those were condo sales. Of those 210, 127 of them were conditionally sold, went through conditions, and then resulted in a sale, which meant 83 of them, or 40% of the time, these condos sold with no strings attached, no conditions at all. And I won't go into a lot of depth here, but on a condo purchase, I would think the three big conditions would be financing. You may be pre-approved, but a pre-approval is not the same as an approval. Chances are the bank is going to send an appraiser, and if the appraisal amount comes less than the purchase price, you have trouble on your hands. So a mortgage financing condition is still very good. Inspection, you may want to hire a professional to inspect the home, make sure it's in good condition. And the big one for me is the status certificate, and that's like the financial reports and documents of the condominium corporation, and that you'd normally have reviewed with your lawyer to ensure that the condo corp is being well managed and is healthy and financially viable. What you don't want is to enter into a home, buy a home, and then a couple months later you get a notice in the mail. Everyone has to pay an extra $10,000, $20,000 special assessment. That would be very, very bad. So you get a status certificate to ensure that the condominium corporation is in good health. Now, I've written an article about the risks of removing these conditions, and I'll link to that in the description below, so go read for more information on that. But to summarize, to remove any of those conditions carries their own unique risks, and you have to be alert of those risks. And yet 40% of the time buyers are choosing to waive those anyway. They may be trying to resolve some of them before offer day, but I believe many times people are buying into these without having fully completed their conditions, and they're going in with no conditions attached 40% of the time. That's staggering. A couple other highlights I want to make is, of the 210 homes, 105 of them were exactly 50% sold above asking price. And why does that happen? It's because of multiple offers, two or more. We see 20, 30, 40 people submitting offers, and the one who wins is the one with the best offer. How do you make your offer better? You have a higher price, or you have fewer conditions, or a combination thereof. You also want to try to satisfy any other wishes of the seller, such as closing dates and maybe some other terms. But those are the big moving pieces. I would say price, condition, closing date maybe are the big ones that you can massage to make your offer look as good as possible. So fascinating stuff. 50% of the time someone is buying it over asking price. And the statistics go further. For every day on market that a home stays for sale, the chances of you getting a multiple offer situation falls dramatically. So on day one, we started at 50% line, and then for every progressive day that home sits on the market, the chances of you getting competing offers goes down dramatically. And I believe this is artificially built out too, because many times the agents are withholding on offers. You can't even buy a home. You can't even submit an offer many times before day 4 or day 5. You know, the sellers won't even look at them. It's called withholding presentation of offers. And so I believe that's being artificially built out, that if agents were withholding on offers, we'd be seeing that curve much faster or more pronounced. Also, going back to the status certificate can take up to 3 weeks, or 14, 15 business days. And so when we see when they do enter conditions, and if it does have a status certificate condition, that drags out that conditional period. So when I see this days on market 23 days, that's why, is because the ones that have conditions typically have long conditions for the status certificate, and that's why we're seeing days on market 23. But I think, again, status certificate, if it weren't for that, they'd be sold within hours or days. Fascinating stuff. Let's go down to residential. So of the 600 homes, 389 of them were residential sales. Of those, 198 were conditional, which means 191 had no conditions. Let's call it 50%. 50% of the time, the homes that have successfully sold were sold to a buyer who had no conditions attached. Amazing. And if you look at this line graph, it's even more pronounced, right? Like the homes are up on the market for 3, 4, 5, 6 days. Agents welcome offers. You get lots of multiple offers, and it gets sold. And 50% of the time, it's being sold firm, no conditions, no financing, no home inspection, or any other kind of conditions on there. And again, if the agents weren't artificially inflating the homes would be selling in hours or minutes. And that's just the reality. And if you look at average days on market, look at this one, -2. That means an agent had sold the home 2 days before they got their paperwork together and actually got it on MLS. By the time they uploaded it to MLS, it was already sold 2 days ago. And that's why it shows days on market -2 days. Funny stuff. Maximum 680 days. That's a long time to have your home for sale. But on average, 25. But what's most interesting, median is 6 days. And that just paints that story that I'm talking about. Agents are withholding offers. 6 days later, they welcome offers. Tons of offers come in. Lots of multiples. People are paying over asking price. People are going in with no conditions. And this is the reality of the market that we're in. So if we look at sold price over list price, the biggest discount people have negotiated was 16% or 84% of list price. Someone's gone as high as 139% of the asking price. Put that in perspective. If you're on a $600,000 home and you go that times 1.39, you're offering $234,000 over asking price, and that's just staggering to me that someone was willing to do that. I have a hard time believing that someone priced it intentionally that much lower. And yes, I know that some agents are perhaps pricing it a little bit lower, but it's because you don't want to overprice. Overpricing has way more harmful effect. You can't underprice in this market. You can't underprice in this market. The market will naturally bid itself up to what is actually fair market value, and it's just shown by the curve as well. If you price it too high and you sit on the market and you don't get offers in the first week, well, this line graph shows the story. You're not going to get the same results. You're not going to get the frenzy. You're not going to get the multiple offers. You're not going to get that premium price. But if you price it aggressively or within a certain range, you're going to get a lot of activity. You're going to get lots of offers. You're likely to attract multiple offers and maybe even one without conditions. So that's the story here, people. I hope that paints a little bit of a better picture. It's a difficult market. This is, in my 10 years, this is by far the most difficult market, especially if you're a buyer. If you're shopping, you need to understand what you're up against, because if you submit an offer, chances are there's 29 other offers that are going in, and there's like 50% of the time there's one or more of those offers have no strings attached, no conditions, and we're seeing those are the buyers who win. The buyers who win are the ones with no conditions and the best price. I can't just tell you don't put conditions in and pay the most price. Like, we need to talk about this. We need to put a strategy in place. Each home is unique. You need to work closely with your real estate agent. So call us. Our team is ready and educated, and we can definitely help you navigate this difficult market. If you're a seller, wow, tons of opportunity. And our job then is to make sure that you get the most amount of money from the sale of your home and to fully take advantage of this hot market. And there's some key strategies, key pricing strategies, key marketing strategies, and we want to explore those with you and make sure that we can get you the most amount of money And I believe that a good real estate agent will help you earn every single cent, and well worth the investment of hiring a professional real estate agent. So ask us how, call us, and yeah, we'd love to do business with you and make sure that your next transaction goes as smoothly as possible. If you stuck it through this far, man, thank you. You're a nerd like me, and we so appreciate you. So thanks for watching. I'm Dave Robertson, your real estate professional for life.